I was called a racist. And the camera slowly zoomed in on my face. And the producers edited the segment so that they took all the comments I made that, had any context or explanation about why he's misquoting that obscure blog he chose. So these people think they can destroy me by doing these things. They actually inspire me. But the enemy is not necessarily who you might think. The enemy, I'm just going to let this guy from Pajamas Media tell you.
But Andrew Breitbart, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and BigGovernment.com were fighting against the enemy, and the enemy was Acorn. But I don't think that's the case at all. I think the enemy they were fighting against are the media. The media is no longer merely biased. In fact, they're no longer even ignoring the news. The mainstream media is now in the news suppression business.
So that's what led me to do something I did recently. I called it To Catch a Journalist. Now I'm going to start making eye contact. You said you had questions for me afterwards. Hopefully this answers all of your questions. Anyways, To Catch a Journalist, like To Catch a Predator. ABC News used to do undercover video. They don't anymore. If they do undercover video, it's usually trying to entrap a private citizen into saying something racist on the show called What Would You Do? So I did this thing called To Catch a Journalist, and one of the things that was remarkable to me when I was doing these investigations was watching the reporters. Before I released the story, they would run something like this. Front page, Huffington Post, above the fold. This acorn won't crack. O'Keefe's latest video has fallen flat. But the video had not even been released yet. This was in relation to an investigation I did with public policy groups who were doing pay-for-place deals in Ohio. So I would give them money undercover and say, I want you to investigate this group. If you don't do the policy research I like, don't release the study. They were caught on tape agreeing to do it. They said, O'Keefe called us, and he, went undercover, and the Huffington Post just assumed that I didn't get anything out of it. And they ran this headline. And this was the White House correspondent by the name of Sam Stein. Now, in fact, I did get something with it. And the day after that headline, I released it. And this is the video that we caught in Ohio. The Economic Policy Institute is what they call themselves. This guy named Jeffrey Keefe agreeing to do a pay-for-play deal with our undercover decoy.
Professor Jeff Keefe from Rutgers University was caught on tape saying he was going to kill an economic study in a pay-for-play deal in order to defeat SB 5, an Ohio anti-collective bargaining bill. The professor thought he was talking to someone associated with the Ohio Education Association. In fact, the person was just a Project Veritas decoy.
We really want to make sure that since we're putting all these tens of thousands of dollars into this, we want to make sure that, EPI, if they find evidence contrary to what our intended outcome is, we want to make sure that they'll omit that kind of data.
What they'll do is they'll not publish it.
They won't publish it.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's okay.
We're not going to change the results of any study, but if it's something you don't want published, we'll kill it.
It's great, that if we put all this money into the study and EPI finds an outcome that's contrary to our goals, that they just won't even publish it. That's great to hear.
Yeah, no, that's not our objective. That's why it's important to do business with policy institutes rather than academics. Publishers errors. They devoted a lot of time to it. They're going to publish it no matter what the outcome is.
Right. You don't want that.
Yeah. Policy institutes have a policy agenda.
Right. That's good.
The FCI is when they publish something, it's highly reliable and credible, but if it's contrary to what you want and what they want, they pay for it and they kill it.
Christian Hartsock confronted Professor Jeff Keefe about what he said outside of debate in Ohio, and the professor denied that he would kill any research.
This is another tactic we use. We catch something on tape, and we go to the subject and say, did you say this? They said, absolutely not. And then we say, okay, well, I have this video recording of you saying it, and I have a transcript of you saying it, and then you just watched them have like a nervous breakdown.
Something you don't want published will kill it.
So they oftentimes attack the camera, but this is, you know, this is pretty typical. They get caught, and this is a very specific sort of reaction to our work. Is when they get caught, there's really no debating video. I talked about this with the interviewer before this meeting. There's nothing to debate when you catch them in the act. So the only logical thing for them to do, illogical I should say, is to just use ad hominems and sue you and try to put you in jail and, you know, call you racist and whatever else they do. This was, how many people have seen this, the voter fraud that we've done? Voter fraud videos, ballots being handed out to dead people and strangers. And so this is actually, we did this in D.C. I had this guy, there he is right there. He does not look like Eric Holder. He's 23 years old, he has a beard, and this is the actual building where Eric Holder was going to vote on Nebraska Avenue. And it's pretty simple idea, just walk in and obtain ballots of the most famous people in D.C. Evangelos, CNN contributors, the Attorney General himself. And we didn't actually say his name, we didn't misrepresent ourselves. We didn't say we are this person. We just stated the names of these people and in fact was offered their ballots to vote.
Into a poll location in Washington, D.C. and asks about United States Attorney General Eric Holder. The poll worker places a mark next to Eric Holder's name and offers the man Eric Holder's ballot to vote.
Hello? Do you have an Eric Holder?
And we censored out his personal address. There was some debate about whether I should do that, but I always feel like I should try to take the moral high ground where I can. So that's why it's beat down.
Visual, D-E-R. I would feel more comfortable if I just had my IDs all right, but I'll be back faster than you can set yours.
As you can see, he looks exactly like Eric Holder. This guy has actually done a number of these voter fraud videos, and I've been requested to show you the North Carolina one because I'm here in the state. Is that Gary? That's Gary Bartlett. They're talking about Gary Bartlett. I've never talked to him. I wish I had the statement he made in the newspaper. What was the statement where one line he said, it's so important that citizens investigate this, but how dare the citizen investigate this? So anyway, this is a local ABC News report about UNC, University of North Carolina, professors and administrators encouraging my undercover reporter to vote twice. in what we call Operation Chaos.
Good, all we do. We turn it over to the prosecutors.
Oh, he's seen those undercover at UNC, secretly taping at least 2 UNC officials while O'Keefe's operative discusses a voter fraud scheme. This university staffer laughs, at one point seeming to even encourage the plan.
Where can I get active in some of the out of the
In a statement to Eyewitness News, UNC Chancellor Holden Cook writes, while the scenarios described in the video were false, some of our administrators responded inappropriately, and we are taking disciplinary action against those who use poor judgment in their approach to these student imposters. Our administrators are instinctively supportive of our students, and they empathize with them. But regardless of the questionable tactics used to elicit their comments, these employees should have offered better advice and guidance.
I always find it interesting what they edited out of this news broadcast from the end of the statements made by the complainant. Don't vote twice, I'm having an illegal organized rally in the basement of my buildings, and they didn't put that in the broadcast. But it'd be funny also to follow up with what exactly it means to be, suspended or held. The UNC never got back to us. And the funniest part was our guy, you can see him right here where the arrow is, he's dressed in a German Bavarian costume. He went into these places dressed like that, and they didn't even blink an eye. I always try to just make it as outrageous as I possibly can. It never seems to